to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Ebro, Laura Rosenberg. Laura's on mommy duty. Rosenberg's traveling today. Somebody I aspire to be like. Yo, Shawnee, y'all be making fun of me on the bike? My dude right here, one of the best cyclists.
Say word.
Justin Williams, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, man? I'm good.
Good, man.
Hey,
Oh, it's
chilling.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
We have a great mutual friend. Shout out to Mike Packer. But, you know, I've been trying to get my cycling on the last few years. So when they told me I could meet you and do an interview, I was like, let's do it.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, Mike said he'd be tearing you up on the bike.
He didn't
bro.
say that.
That's what he said.
He wouldn't say that. He wouldn't even say that.
Nah, he said that.
He wouldn't even say that.
He said you can't even clip in. I was like, bro, that's,
Wow.
that's rough. I was like, that's rough.
That's what y'all doing to me today?
It was starting.
I know Mike
early.
didn't do that, but Justin's talking his shit. So wait, now, if people want to follow you, it's Justin Williams on Instagram, right?
Yeah, it's Just Williams, JUSWILLIAMZ on Instagram.
And how long have you been a professional road cyclist?
Man, I turned pro when I was 17. Actually, it was wild. I had this guy that was like a mentor to me, and like an older brother. His name was Rassam Bahati. He was like, when I was growing up, he was like one of the only black pros that I like saw, and he just happened to be from LA. Also, he's from Compton, so like he used to race my dad a lot. And
So your dad rode?
Yeah, my dad rode. My parents are from Belize, so like it's a massive sport in Belize. I came from Belize to here.
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah, I just switched over nationality, so I did the national championship, won the national championship, came home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yo, congratulations, man.
I appreciate it, bro.
That's
I
super
appreciate
dope.
it.
So wait, in Belize, shout out to all the Belizean people locked in. We got a lot of Belizeans listening. We know a lot of Belizean people. Cycling's a huge sport.
Yeah, it's massive. My dad actually used to run track and field. He said the girls like cyclists, so he switched over. So, right? It's mad. It's like soccer and cycling.
But cycling is expensive. It's hard to get into, right? Because the bikes, like as you get better bikes, it gets more and more expensive.
Yeah, it can be. That's what. Shout out to Red Hook. That's why Red Hook was so important, because it was all fixed gear stuff, and somebody will give you a fixie bike.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's one gear. It's pretty affordable. So like, it was a great stepping stone to getting into cycling, because like once you start to get into it, it's like sky's the limit.
Yeah. So what age did you start cycling?
I started when I was 13. It's a funny story.
And your
man.
dad bought your first bike for you.
Yeah, I played basketball and football growing up, like all time, every day. I used to always see my dad riding bikes, and I was like, oh, that's a cool hobby. I didn't know it was like a profession you could race. And one day he left his bike on the trainer, and I just like started riding it. So I didn't even have my own bike. Like he tried to get me a bike, and then I let my little brother ride it, and he was like, you're not serious. And he took and I never saw the bike again. So I started when I was 13.
Dad
finally.
wasn't playing.
Nah, he said it's expensive. So he was like, nah, you need to be
You
serious.
gotta be serious about it.
And it's hard, bro. Like,
Yeah, nah, I get some miles in, but I don't put up. I mean, what you put up 400 miles a week?
like 300. It depends.
300?
It just depends on like where we are. Like in the off season, like wintertime, it's like it gets up there. It's like 400, it's a little bit more. But like when we start to get a racing, it's like 250.
Got it. So you cut it down
Yeah.
to not exhaust yourself.
Intensity goes up, and then the distance comes down, so you can like sharpen up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So doing more and more long distance is not necessarily going to make you a better cyclist as much as upping the intensity.
Exactly. So you wanna train your engine and build it in the off season, and like that's where you get that endurance in those longer days. But if you want to be fast and you want to do racing, you gotta like bring that distance down, and you gotta start doing like really intense efforts.
So you recently were just in Tulsa, which I think was I saw on your Instagram. Tell me about how that they had a race in Tulsa. It was to highlight was, obviously everything that many people have just recently come to learn about the Greenwood neighborhood and the Tulsa Race Massacre. You went out there, took your, I think, is that your brother that also rides with you?
My younger brother's name is Corey.
Right, and some other side shit together out there.
Yeah, no, so the race has been happening for a long time, but it's crazy to go there. I've been to that race maybe 10 times, 15 times, and like I never knew.
Really?
I never knew about anything, and I had knew about the race massacre, and it was crazy because I thought it was. You always think this stuff is far away. You know what I mean? And literally, the block that runs straight down Greenwood is in one of the races.
And so you were riding this block and never knew.
Never knew. never knew. And I had an understanding of what happened because I like, YouTube is a thing. So I like self-taught, like just I'm always going through like Black history and trying to figure out like what happened.
Yeah, because we don't learn this in public schools.
And like you have stuff going on now where there's stuff being passed where you don't have to, or it's illegal to teach it.
Right.
Which
whole other convo.
Funny enough, same thing that happened there. So no, we didn't even know where it was. And so this year we wanted to make a big deal out of it, and we wanted to really pay homage to like what happened there and the Black excellence that existed. And we're trying to stand on that also with what we're doing and building a cycling team and doing kind of things our own way and bringing some more culture to the sport. So going there, it was important just being there. You know what I mean? That was before the winning, before anything went down. It was just dope to be there and to kind of like embrace everything the history and everything that went down there.
So I in cycling up the 9W over here in Jersey, met some cool people. Obviously, my people over there, Strictly Bikes, and Nelson and Juan and CJ and Zaire and everybody that's there. My boy Mike Packer, who I knew before that, but then I just started going cycling. And he was like, "Yo, you out here?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm out here." And then we already knew each other from him having Packer shoes and all that, and just being in the sneaker game. But also met some other people. They have a riding crew out here called Major Taylor, which is based on Major Taylor, which was international
first American world champion.
Yeah,
people know that he's
black man.
But
then they call theirs the Major Taylor Iron Riders.
Yeah,
which the Iron Riders is based on a story during the war that they didn't give the black guys the vehicles, so they made them deliver equipment on bikes.
Right, and they had to ride that route. That was like grueling route. I think some people tried to ride it like now with modern equipment, and it was rough for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And they used to was that World War II, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But as far as black people and cycling, right? It's becoming more and more common, right? Like.
Man,
I mean, look,
crazy.
going back in the day, biker shorts was just in. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day.
I have so many friends that are a little bit older than me. They have this story of like riding out the hood with like basketball shorts on and a t-shirt, so that nobody saw them and they were like, they're riding. But there was a time where dudes like in the 80s would just wear, so like my uncles, they wore the cycling hat, the biker shorts, and the jerseys as an outfit. Nah.
Yes.
Nah.
In the 80s, yes.
Is that a real thing?
Real thing.
Whoa.
And especially girls would wear it.
So that's coming back. That's coming back now, right? So that's like a new fashion now where girls are wearing the bike shorts. I didn't know in the 80s the dudes
was wearing spandex too.
Maybe
they got made fun of, but they were still wearing it.
Maybe it's going to come back around.
Nah. Yo, they killed me for mine. Yo, on this show, they killed me.
Yeah?
Yo, people want photos of me in my spandex just so they could crush me on the internet so bad. I don't post shit.
Hey, just put up a challenge. Just be like, all right, anybody that want to come out and ride because you talking big, come do 10 miles.
They can't.
It's not going to be a good time for you.
They can't.
They don't know. Cycling is the hardest sport I've ever done. And like I said, I play football, I play basketball for like most of my life. And I got in this different level of mental focus and like suffering. Like to be good at cycling, there's a certain level of like pain you got to be willing to endure.
Yeah, your thresholds got to be crazy.
You got to get it up there. So I mean, I think people would, if they were a little bit more open to it, you know what I mean, they would be surprised at how much fun you have and how much it opens up the mind. It gives you a lot of clarity and perspective.
Yo, I thought that was just me. Like when I go out and ride, like when you the fact that the tension release, the physical, like actually, I'm 46 years old, so being able to get out and do something with that level of intensity, there's nothing else I could do with that. Like my body, I can't play hoop like that. I can't play football like that. So you know what I'm saying? I'm not running marathons like that. I'm 220 pounds. That's not good for my body. So, you know what I mean? Cycling is like literally the only thing I can do outside at that level of intensity.
Yeah.
And really feel like, you're getting that mental clarity.
Yeah, if you're a competitive soul, like cycling is a good avenue for you because I mean people are, you've been out there, people definitely willing to race you at any moment.
Sure.
It's turn up time. Like you try anything crazy, but if you like being competitive and there's like nothing you can do, like you say you want to go play flag football or something, like cycling might be the ticket.
Did you notice a lot of people got into cycling during the pandemic because it was the one thing that, like, bikes were sold out everywhere.
Still sold out. You can't get it'd be hard to get a new bike for like the next like two years or so.
You think so? You think it's gonna be that long?
It's crazy to get like specific bike. If there's like a specific bike and colorway you want, like you might be waiting for a minute because it blew up. And I think it blew up just because, like, it's like a rite of passage as a human to learn how to ride a bike.
Right.
And then for some reason you step away from it when you get to like, your late teens and early 20s, you get away from it. A lot of people tend to like find their way back to the bicycle because it's like that one thing that you can do that you can use for transportation. You can use for like therapy. You can use to lose weight. You can use there's so many like really dope components that go into like just being able to go out, jump on your bike, forget about your kids for a second, forget about work for a second, and just like be out in nature. And I think as humans, that's something that we long for.
Mm-hmm. So right now, climbing up some of the toughest hills that I climb in the area, I think the max speed I could get to without completely decimating myself is like 7 miles.
7 You got a little bit of work to do.
A little bit
of work to do.
I got a lot. And I got to drop all the way down to the small ring on some of them joints.
Nah,
I can't even.
That's me too.
I can't. Yo, I'm not there on the big ring. Now on flats, I'm 25.
Yeah.
I can get 25, 28 on flats.
You rolling.
Yeah, but what's the fastest climb? Miles per hour, fastest climb you ever did?
I don't climb good, so I'm in the same boat with you. I'm 190, so like I am not. my specialty is speed. My specialty is cornering, maneuvering, and tactics. So that's what criteriums are to me. It's like this. People think about cycling, they think about Tour de France, right? Tour de France is like this long, drawn out race that can't really hold the attention of like Americans, right?
Got it.
We took that and we took the best part of it and put it into like an hour circuit around the block.
Got it.
There's a race that goes down here, Harlem Skyscraper. I won it in 2019. It's amazing, dude. And it's just like it averages average speed of 30 miles an hour.
So it's just it's a shootout.
It's a shootout. It's
And how many miles?
It'll be like 45 miles. 45 miles in an hour, hour and a half, full ground, people running in the barriers.
Everybody goes down at least once in races like that, right?
Criteriums are crazy, man. Like that's what, like, I don't know if you've been to one yet, but Mike got a taste of his first one in Tulsa, and he's hooked now, I think.
Because that's more of a brutal, competitive, people bumping each other.
It feels more like football. It feels more like people getting shoulder checked. People, like, you're going around, it's 120, 130 people going around this 1 mile course maybe, and the corners have like enough space for like 3 people wide, but you got 100 plus people trying to like get to that apex first. So it's just like all about momentum. It's all about positioning. It's all about being aggressive and knowing.
And those are called criteriums.
Those are called criteriums.
Yeah, I won't
Crits
be doing
for short.
Yeah, I won't be doing
you
that.
got to.
Nah,
that's where you're gonna shine though.
It's not happening.
That's where you're gonna shine though.
It's not happening.
That's where you're gonna get your respect.
I'm good. I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
Those are called crits, man. Those are my favorite form of racing. It's something that's special to America. They do it in Australia. They do it in London. But like, it's what we kind of like live in. Like 90% of our race calendar is criteria.
So the crit is more of the short form, more aggressive, versus the Tour de France is more the long form, super grueling endurance shit.
Well, I think they're two different sports. I think they're completely different sports. It's like you would never compare like mountain biking to like BMXing.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how I feel about criteriums and road racing. Road racing is like, it's a completely different training. It's completely different mindset. We're talking about some races are 21 days. You know what I mean? They have 1 day classics, but like the Tour de France, 21 days. Like a criterium is 1 day for an hour and a half in the middle of some
and it's
city.
Brutal.
And it's
you're
like
definitely hitting the pavement. You're definitely bleeding. Somebody's bleeding.
Nah. I'm not gonna wood.
I saw your little brother it was yours or your little brother. Your brother hit the pavement.
Yeah, he just
Some
crashed.
dude flipped over his back.
Yeah.
He got back up. It was a mess.
Yeah, that was for the national championship. So he was like in position to win the national championship. That would have been his first professional national championship. And it just gets aggressive. Like dudes are everybody's trying to win, right? It's a big moment. So, dude,
You ever punch somebody in the face?
I've thought about
doing
it.
you dirty on the track, and then
I
after
thought
the race, you went and found them?
People be talking a bunch of shit in races, man. It's pretty funny, but they don't try me. I mean, I'm like one of like 4 black dudes that race, so like, and they're like,
you must you special if you out here.
And
something.
I'm like big for a cyclist. Like
okay.
Most cyclists, like average cyclist, probably like 5'9", 150 pounds.
Got it.
You know what I mean? I'm like 6'1". I heard you talking about Rosenberg the other day about how you gonna stand up in pictures. It made me laugh. You gonna show your actual size, stand up in pictures. But the same thing, like dudes they be trying to be out of pocket, but for the most part, they stay in line. So it's good.
So your cycling team is called Legion.
Legion Los Angeles.
Legion Los Angeles. And it's LE39.
Yeah, ION.
And what's the 39?
39th Street. We grew up on 39th Street, South Central, LA. So that was like a massive deal for me to like when I was thinking of a name, because cycling teams are typically named after companies, right? They don't have their own identity, and so because of that, they can't live on, and people don't have anything to hold on to. So we wanted to change the game and basically come in and go, all right, like what do we know works from other sports? You know, what works and what doesn't work. And so we wanted to create a name and a home, right? And a Legion is like a small army. So it was like, all right, small army, let's run with that. And we had a couple other names. And I do a lot of graphic design. So when I figured out I could put the 39 for the block in the name, I was like, all right. I was like, all right, that's it.
Now, so do you, as somebody who is high profile in cycling, do you do rides with like us regular people?
Yeah, man, all the time. I think that's the best part about cycling is like, imagine if you could show up to like Rucker Park and play with Kobe, or just like a random park and play with Kobe. And like, so that's what it is. We're just out riding. So I'll show up to group rides probably twice a week, 3 times a week, especially when I'm trying to sharpen up, because that's where you can get that intensity. If you don't want to do it that way, you got to jump on the back of a motorcycle and like motor pace. But I'll show up to group rides all the time. Mike was just telling me, I'm probably going to go ride with Mike at some point this week.
I'm invited?
Yeah, you invited.
I'm invited. I just got the invite right now. Mike's been holding out on me, man. It's crazy.
He's
man.
Like, man,
they don't be wanting to invite me, man. When I first started riding out there, everybody stopped riding. Nobody wanted to ride with me, man.
Nah.
It's mad people that used to show up out there. Mike, don't lie. That don't show up no more.
That's a lie. You said you capping. Yeah.
There's mad people that used to show up. I don't see them no more.
You capping.
I ain't gonna say no names.
No, you be hurting their feelings.
Mike knows. He's just trying to be a nice guy.
Yeah, I feel that.
There's a lot of people who don't show up. Not because I'm like extra special.
Nah, I was just riding super hard.
Nah, I don't ride hard. I don't ride hard.
Or not committed to the car.
I drive behind Mike.
Not committed.
Mike's pulling the whole time.
I know you're lying now.
Actually, not.
I know you're lying now, boy. Mike be sitting on the wheel.
So will you be in town, New York City, for a while, or?
I'm here until Friday, and then I got to get back to LA, get some training in, and then we do Boise, Utah, Chicago, and then Colorado as the next like stages of like the racing calendar that we do. So got to get back, try to recover, get some training in.
Are there any other black teams in Criterium other than yours?
Nah, there's been an influx of people of color. Like this kid from Venezuela got third at Tulsa on day 3. This kid from the Dominican Republic got third at Tulsa on night 1. So it's cool. It's cool to see, man. Like since we started like trying to build this, and like our mission is diversity and inclusion in the sport. That's probably 90% white.
Right.
Seeing like more people be interested, seeing more people come over and wanting to do Criterion, man, it's been dope. It's been really dope.
How do we, and other, obviously donations, sponsorships, whatever, but a lot of this is about getting kids access to the bikes, right?
Yeah.
Because I know, like, look, even in baseball, right, when you go to the hood, there's not a lot of amazing places to play baseball because Major League Baseball or, people don't invest in the hood to, you know what I mean? They always redoing a basketball court.
Oh, yeah.
And if you got a good high school, then, you get some pads, you get to play football, right?
Yeah.
Or you can play flag football, all you need is a ball. Yeah. But in a basketball, you just show up to the court. You don't even need a ball. You just show up. Somebody got a ball so you can start playing.
Yeah.
But cycling is definitely one of those sports that's cost prohibitive, right?
Yeah, I would say it's like it's more about organizing. There's a bunch of brands in cycling right now that are looking for avenues to help give back and to like really like fund some of this stuff. So it would just be like organizing something really. And then the second step to that would be NICA is a mountain bike league for high school kids. And like if you're like a teacher or you like have one of your kids go to a school, you can go talk to the school about maybe putting something together because that's a national organization. So there's a couple ways to kind of get it kicked off, but it would just be like organizing it, man.
Because there's kids out here in the city, all around the city. Yo, man, there's kids I see racing city bikes, son.
PK Rippers,
and you know
bro.
how, city bikes.
Oh.
Popping wheelies and doing tricks on city bikes. Them joints weigh like 50 pounds,
son.
Yeah,
those is rough. Those is made of
So
all
imagine
steel.
if they actually got, you know what
100%.
I mean, access to some real...
100%. Cycling is funny, man, because it's a lot of cycling is scientific. So like the training that you need to get good is the first part, and that gets a lot of people like 90% of the way there. But like to have that like that killer mentality, that dog, like a lot of people in the sport don't have that. So like I can only imagine like a couple kids coming down.
Yeah, from the hood who just this is their chance to get out.
It'd be different. It would completely change the sport. It'd be different. They could own it. 100%.
I would love to follow up on that. Yeah. So any advice or anything that your team is doing, you keep us looped in. I would love to be able to get that information out to kids.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Or to, help community grassroots organizations, whatever that maybe want to expose kids, because there's definitely some out there who probably listen to this convo want to expose kids to something.
Yeah, I mean, like what we're trying to build with Legion and even beyond Legion, man, the whole goal is to get somebody into the sport. There's a couple of kids that are going to come into the sport and help us change what it looks like, but the next superstar of cycling isn't even riding a bike yet. I truly believe that. So we're just trying to continue to build what we're doing, and then hopefully, working with like these smaller programs and inspiring hopefully the next generation. We're hoping to find that kid at some point.
There it is. Justin Williams, it's been a pleasure to meet you. Y'all look him up. Is it Just Williams?
Just Williams with a Z.
Just Williams, yeah. Go look him up. Give his brother some love so he don't tighten up too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
he really would too. He probably mad he not here right now.
Exactly.
His nation's #1 beast. That should say it all. Nation's #1 beast on Instagram.
So where do y'all rank right now, as brothers in the sport? Like, is it rankings? Do you guys have national rankings?
Yeah,
How's
national rankings. Corey's #1 right now, I believe. And I think I'm number like 4 or 5. Yeah, but my little brother's a monster. Bro.
Monster.
Yeah, he's 5'9", 150 pounds. Like,
so
perfect. Yeah, he'll go up that climb that you was talking about 7 miles an hour. He'll do that at like 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, he's no joke.
Yo, so it's really the big dude struggle. That's just it.
Nah,
with climbs.
It's
period.
not,
There's no way around it.
Yeah, no way around it. It's all power of the weight.
Right.
It's gravity. You can't run away from it.
Yo, cause I think I'm doing something at like some days like I'm nice, I'll be like, yo, I'm hitting the 8.5 right now.
Yeah, you rolling.
Like I'm cooking.
Yeah.
Goes up these hills at like 12, 13 miles.
Yeah.
Juan's weighs what, 160 pounds?
Yeah, don't think about it. Don't think about it. Just don't think about it.
And don't even like, and then I got boys that's trying to get into it.
Yeah.
And they think because they lift weights that they could just go out and beast on these hills. I'm like, you'll never win like that. You'll never win.
You're going backwards, bro. You're going backwards. We have a couple guys that got into cycling for weightlifting, and it's like it's different. It's completely different.
It's crazy. Well, it's been a pleasure, man.
Thank you for having me.
Man,
I appreciate you.